So hello everyone, it's your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, and today I figured we could get into some of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. So we're gonna start off with the luxury edition. The next time I'll feel the high end, then I'll do like affordable and drugstore, and then we'll pretty much be done. Unless y'all want to do a whole separate thing just for indie, because I was gonna try to include the indie in with like affordable, but I guess they could be on their own. We should make it like, I guess, a 5-part series, if you will. If you all are interested, then just stay tuned. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the honorable mentions, because y'all know me, I always got some type of honorable mention. I can't just have a video. There has to be some honorable mentions. So I'm going to start off with one that you'll probably be surprised about. Actually, I think you'll be surprised by a couple of these. I'm going to start off with the Tom Ford quad, because y'all know I'm always clowning the Tom Ford quads. This is the one my girl Dr. Ash and her makeup actually recently just did. She got it for 50% off at Nordstrom's Rack. This is my favorite color story of all of them besides the purple ones, but I feel like this one performs the best for me in my personal opinion. This is Photosynthesis, so this is what it looks like. I like the color story of this. We all know why I like this, and this are mainly why I like it. I mean, this brown works for outer V detailing, and then like the gold works for inner corner. So I mean, like, they have it set up nicely, so that's why if I had to pick one, I would pick this one. But still, I still don't think this is worth the price they charge. And she got hers at 50% off, which I think was like $40, and I still don't necessarily feel like it's worth the price. However, for 40 bucks, I would recommend this particular one. I just wouldn't recommend the other ones. It was but for 40 bucks, yeah, I would definitely say go ahead and get Photosynthesis. Y'all saw the color of it, and it's a gorgeous quad. But since I don't think they're worth it, it's just an honorable mention. Like, I'm sorry, that's just it. Next, I have a Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette. I have the super blue one, of course, because when she had a blue one, I had to get it. To me, this is kind of finicky. I mean, it works nicely overall, but I feel like you just have to do a whole bunch of work with it. Like, you have to blend the hell out of this dark matte shade for the outer V, and then you have to use like a black shimmer underneath this blue shimmer to really make it pop. And then these are just two boring shades that you can find in any palette, luxury palette, especially since they love to go with these neutral boring shades. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is anything special, and I don't think this is worth the 50 whatever dollars. I didn't pay $50. I think I caught it on Net-a-Port for like, or Bergdorf Goodman or somebody for like, I think it was 35 bucks, and that's how it ended up in my possession. But I mean, I think the quads aren't worth the $54 in my personal opinion. I was going to get the Fire Rose, and then I decided not to, and you know, everybody's sad about it, but I'm not, because it's not that exciting to me. The last one I have is a Dior Quint. So believe it or not, I did buy a couple of Dior Quints. I ended up putting one in a giveaway, and then like the package to the girl got lost, and I had to send a whole nother one. So it's a Dior Quint just floating somewhere for free, because the post office couldn't get their life together. But I got the Happy 2020 one. I know, right? Happy 2020. Absolutely not. 2020 was the worst year of life. But yeah, so the colors in here are actually really nice. That's why I bought it, because I liked the color story of it. And then like the shimmers in here actually perform pretty decently. They're like a light wash of shimmer though, so don't expect to get a whole lot of payoff. I would say these are ones I would put on top of a matte shadow, just because, you know, I feel like they'll give that extra oomph on top of a matte. You can wet it and then stick a glitter. You can stick a glitter glue on it, put it on, and then wet it and put it on top to get some extra like pigment out of it. But don't expect much out of it, just because I don't think it's going to give you much. So overall, I thought the shimmers were nice, but I think I've only used this like one time in the video, so I didn't want to like put it high up there. But I did like the formula of it enough to let it be an honorable mention. Next, I have my Chantecaille quads. Now, these are just things that I think are worth the money in some of my favorite formulas. Now, these are the only Chantecaille quads I tried, but I was quite impressed with this formula. First of all, because it wasn't shimmery, it wasn't, you know, that lackluster shimmer like I was just talking about with the Dior quads. This actually packs some pigment and some punch of shimmer in these quads. So I was thoroughly impressed. Shout out to my girl, Beautydealsbff, because she's the only reason I got this. And she already knew, because when I commented, I was like, she's like, I bet you were going to get the Chantecaille quads. I'm like, yes, you know me so well. So I got this one right here, the cool tone one. This is what it looks like. I think it's very pretty, and I think the shimmers in it perform quite well. And then this one, which dupes a couple of other palettes I bought this year for the holiday. This is what it looks like on the inside. If you all can't tell, I felt like this reminded me of the Charlotte Tilbury was a palette of pops or whatever that she came up with during the holidays, and the Interstellar Icon from Pat McGrath. So I did a comparison with both these if anyone's curious, just so you see how the formulas and the colors perform as opposed to the other ones. I love these, and now I'm interested in trying some more Chantecaille, but since I think these are like 80 bucks on their own, I'm not gonna rush and get them. I think I just had a package delivered to the door because I'm sitting in the living room and I just heard the postman. But I don't know, y'all. Adriangameover about to go check, so you should hear my door open and all that. But yeah, so this next thing I have is the Viseart Dark Mattes palette. Y'all know I love me some Viseart. I have a few Viseart palettes. I have like 4 of these, and I have one huge one. I want to get the other shimmery huge one, but it is not in my possession yet. Yes, y'all, I had a lovely Sephora package coming. I tell the Lord thank you. It says Sephora. Look at that. All right. Oh, it says Sephora. Look at that. All right. But yeah, so I have this palette right here. This is the Dark Mattes. This is probably my most used one besides the huge colorful one, the Grande Pro 3. I love this thing so much. This is what I did my signature look with when I used the blue and green shifting pigment in the Nocturnal Nirvana palette. I used the mattes out of this, and you all seem to really like that video. I loved it as well, so honey, yes. Now, I don't know if y'all consider Huda Beauty as high, as luxury. I do, just because her eyeshadow palettes are always higher than everybody else that's supposed to be high-end, so I'm going to include her in here. So we got the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. This is my favorite Huda Beauty huge palette. Y'all know I love mauves, and what I've always appreciated about Huda is she loves mauves too. So when she does a neutral palette, it's not the boring browns that everybody else does. She always has like mauvey, purpley shades, and when I'm going for a nude, this is the type of nude I'm immediately going for. This is my comfort zone of nude. I actually just did a look with another palette in this video, along with the palette that's on my eyes right now. I'll show you that. I just love the formula. It was so easy to work with and just made me look bomb. But yeah, I love this palette. This is my favorite Huda Beauty palette. I'm not really into retrograde, and I didn't buy the Naughty Nude just because I went into that weird, creepy, pearly shade. So I did not do it. I was not about to be about that life. So the last two I have, I feel like it's no surprise. It's just a question of what palettes am I going to show you from this brand. So I figure I'll save the one that's on my eyes for last. So we're going to start off with the lovely Pat McGrath, of course. And this is a quad I was just talking about I used with the Viseart palette. This is the Nocturnal Nirvana from the 2019 holiday collection. This is by far one of my all-time favorite Pat McGrath collections when it comes to her quads. Now, mind you, she's only done it for 2 years in a row, but like these quads right here, they just do something to me, y'all. They do something to me. It always has this weird shaking, and when I shake it, I don't know why. I don't know if it's the magnets underneath here or what, but this palette just, honey, look at it. Look at it. Chop. This palette is just everything. I know one of y'all told me your purple shade hard pan, and I felt so bad for her because I'm like, this palette is just everything. Now, I don't really use this shade that often. I feel like the one in my Levian Rose is like hard panning though. I'm not sure, but this palette is just everything. Like these 3 shades right here are perfect, and then I can just put this in the inner corner. So you can use this like your outer V and your crease shade because of the formula of this, but then the rest of these are going to be like those sparkly foiled extra special shade shimmers that you can just use for everything. But I always like to pull a matte palette in when I use these. Plus it gives me an excuse to use more of my makeup because I have all matte palettes, but a lot of time I don't use them. Just like I have a lot of singles and stuff. I'm trying to get better at using my single shimmer shadows and things like that. So this year I'm going to try to get into that a little bit more. So, and y'all going to try to hold me to it. I've been doing pretty good though, because y'all know I do single shadow Sundays. So that shouldn't be an issue. Adrian, is the camera still running? Yeah. But yeah, because I really like this. And then, of course, the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette that came out this year. Oh my god, y'all. I have made so many looks with this palette, and I have combined this palette with so many other palettes. Like I think I combined it with the Good Sport palette from ColourPop, and then I combined it with Jackie Aina's palette, and then I've just done looks with it on its own. Like this palette here, honey. This palette. I absolutely love it and obsessed with it. This is like by far one of my most used Pat McGrath palettes other than this one. So I tried to make sure I brought y'all the ones I use the most from all these brands so you could get an idea of like how I'm in love with them. But look at this. Like this shade right here is everything. This shade is everything. Like this whole palette to me is just everything. And when I need mattes, I just go to Jackie's palette or I go to ColourPop's Good Sport palette and just pull in the mattes from there. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous palette. And I feel like everyone needs to get their hands on it because it's just, honey, it's amazing. And then the fact that like during the holidays it was like 50 bucks because it was like a 10% coupon floating around, and then she's already had the 20% off, so it was like you was getting 30% off a Pat McGrath palette. Like if you did not snag it then, I don't know what you were doing with life, but I pray you get a chance to snag it again and you make the right decision. So the last brand I have, of course, we all know is Miss Natasha Denona. So my favorite big palette, of course, is the gold palette, and as soon as I open it, you will know for obvious reasons why. Look at this. They have these lovely mustard shades. It has this sparkly blue. It has this blue. Then it has, what is the greeny, goldy looking shade that transfers? I believe it's this one right here. That green gold that transfers. Like, it has all these lovely tones in it. And then if I'm in a rush and want to use a fancy eyeshadow palette and I don't have time to do all the extra blending that goes with the blue and these blue shades, I can use all these browns and then use a nice gold and hook it all up. Like, this palette is just a one-of-a-kind special palette to me. I actually am thinking about getting the what is it, Metropolis palette, just because I have found a way to make the cream shadows in the Love palette work for me, and I hear those cream shadows are easier than the Love palette, so I might actually end up getting that one, but I have to wait till the Sephora VIB sale because that's $129, and I don't know if I want to pay. Anyway, the last palette I have is the one that is on my eyes. So I figured I should show a little palette from her and a big palette from her. And the Love palette is probably my favorite palette of all her little ones. I do like the Glam palette as well, but I don't think it'll work well for my skin tone. I saw Jackie do a video on it, and I wasn't feeling the look that she came up with. And I know Jackie can bang out an eye look a million times better than I can. So the fact that I wasn't feeling the look she came out with, I was like, we're just going to leave you over there. Plus, I don't like the names of the shadow in there. Don't tell me where to put what. I'm like Mel Thompson. I will rebel. I'm going to put it wherever I feel like it. Don't tell me where to put it, Natasha. Anyway, this is what it looks like on the inside. I have the shade Heart mainly on my eye. I literally just blended it all in the crease and all around. Then I took a Super Shock shadow. I'm sorry, 2 Super Shock shadows from ColourPop. I put this shade on the outer V. And then I dusted this shade Intense over the top of this eye look. And that's how we got the eye look that we got going on now. And then I ran this one on the lower lash line. So believe it or not, y'all, I actually did a lot of work to get this eye look looking the way it does. I'm trying to practice Valentine's Day looks now so I can gauge how you all feel about the looks I'm coming out with. And then if you like the Valentine's Day looks, then we can, you know, like use those looks, and then I'll have to retake pictures of them because I've already taken pictures of everything that's going on my face right now. And then we can just videotape the look and I'll know what I'm doing for Valentine's Day. I'm actually going to try to do 2 drugstore ones tomorrow. And then you can tell me if, you know, you all like those or not. And then when Valentine's Day comes, you just gonna get this and then you'll know how to do it yourself. But anyway, those are all of the palettes that I picked that I liked. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.